clue as to what that purpose is, Amos, but Percy will when the time comes. So will Rachel once I've explained it.
And when do you plan to do that?
I'm flying to Lubbock tomorrow in the company plane to meet with her. She doesn't know I'm coming. I'll tell her about the sale and the codicil then, and hope that my arguments convince her I've done what's best for her.
Best for her? Amos peered over his glasses at her in incredulous wonder. Mary would have better luck selling celibacy to a sailor. Rachel would never forgive her for what she'd done. Of that he was certain. He leaned forward and held her with a determined eye.
How about trying your arguments on me first, Mary? Why would you sell Toliver Farms, which you've worked most of your life to build? Why leave Somerset to Percy Warwick, of all people? What use is a cotton plantation to him? Percy is a lumberman. For God's sake, he's 90 years old. And bequeathing the Toliver mansion to the Conservation Society is, well, it's a final slap. You know that Rachel has always regarded that house as her home. She's planning on spending the rest of her life in it.
I know. That's why I've deprived her of it.
She appeared unmoved, sitting ramrod straight with her hand curved over the crook of her anchored cane, looking for all the world like a queen on her throne and the cane her scepter.
I want her to make her own home somewhere else. Start over on new ground, she said. I don't want her staying here and living out her life according to the gospel of the Tolivers.
But I don't understand.
Amos spread his hands in frustration.
I thought that's what you'd prepared her for all these years.
It was a mistake. A very selfish mistake. Thank God I realized the tragedy of my error before it was too late and had the gumption and wisdom to correct it.
She waved a dismissive hand.
Save your energy and mine in trying to convince me to explain, Amos. It's a puzzle, I know, but keep your faith in me. My motives could not be pure.
Bewildered, he tried another tack.
You haven't done this out of some misguided notion of what you feel you owe her father, William, have you?
Absolutely not.
A spark of temper flashed in her eyes. They were known as the Toliver eyes, green as rare emeralds, a feature inherited from her father's side of the family along with her once black hair and the dimple in the center of her chin.
I'm sure my nephew might see it that way, or rather, that wife of his will. She said. To her mind, I've done what's right and proper by giving William what has justly been his all along.
She gave a little snort.
Let Alice Toliver have her illusion that I sold the farms out of guilt over what I owe her husband. I didn't do any of this for him, but for his daughter. I believe he'll realize that.
She paused, her finely lined face pensive, doubtful, and added in a less confident tone,
I wish I could be as sure of Rachel.
Mary.
Amos strove for his most persuasive timbre.
Rachel's a swatch from the same cloth as you. Do you think that you would have understood if your father had deprived you of your legacy? The plantation, the house, the town that owes its birth to your family, no matter how justified his reasons?
Her jaw tightened beneath a slight droop of her jowls.
No. But I wish he had. I wish to God he'd never left me Somerset.
He gaped at her, truly shocked.
But why? You've had a marvelous life. A life that I thought you wished to bequeath to Rachel to perpetuate your family's heritage. This codicil is so...
He swept the back of his hand over the document.
Averse to everything I thought you'd hoped for her. That you led her to believe you wanted for her.
She slackened in her chair, a proud schooner with the wind suddenly sucked from her sails. She laid the cane across her lap.
Oh, Amos, it's such a long story. Far too long to go into here. Percy will have to explain it all to you someday.
Explain what, Mary? What's there to explain?
And why someday, and why Percy? He would not be put off by a stab of concern for her. The lines about her eyes and mouth had deepened, and her flawless complexion had paled beneath its olive skin tone. Insistently he leaned farther over the desk.
What story don't I...